Welcome back to the Reclamation. My name is Malia, and I help women shift from survival mode into a life that is fully alive through reconnecting to trust and safety in their body. Because when a woman feels safe in her body, she becomes the greatest asset to building a more beautiful world. After years of doing this work in my own body and with others, I've learned that real healing starts with one thing, and that's feeling safe in your body. It's not this glamorous act, but it's game changing. And this series will walk you through it. No crystals required, just your body and a little curiosity.
Camera ready, action. Yeah, go like lights, camera ready, action. Do you know what I mean?
This is video number 3 in this series, and you can access the full playlist from this link here. Make sure to subscribe so this series is easy for you to access, and click the notification bell so you can be notified each time a new video is published. Also, once this series is complete, it will become a workshop on my website. That workshop will have a fee, so enjoy the free access to this information while you can, and share it with anybody you think will benefit. Today, I'm going to chat with you about the mind-body connection. The majority of us folks experience our lives from the neck up. Obviously, learning to feel safe in the body means we need to make a connection happen between our mind, this neck up living, and our body, down here in our guts, in our heart space. Bringing the mind into further awareness of the body, and again, leaning into learning the language of our body, which we've been talking about since video 1. We need to teach our mind how to read this language. We actually began the mind-body training with the breath in video 2. So make sure you go back and watch that if you haven't. This series builds one upon the other, and it's really important to make sure you walk through each step so that there can be a real deep foundation. This video will continue the training of the mind through directing its awareness like we did with the breath. So we're going to play with directing the mind in this video, and the goal is to meet you where you already are. One of the most important parts of beginning anything is to begin where you are. And that makes sense, right? But we often get after ourselves, all these judgments we make, and we aren't being fair because we would definitely give the opportunity for someone else to start where they are. So remember, non-judgment. And if you do find yourself being in judgment, good job. Way to be aware and be curious, and then move on. So training the mind to listen to direction and becoming aware of what's already there. Perhaps you've heard that meditation exists in a space where we can acknowledge and observe our thoughts and what we're aware of without judgment. And we will turn that toward the body in the following videos. Initially, the mind directs the attention. And eventually, the place we hope to land is not necessarily getting out of the mind, but connecting mind to body, mind to heart, mind to gut, etc. Following the different ways that we can derive wisdom from this beautiful vessel. Okay, so we're going to begin from the perspective of someone who lives from the neck up. One of the jobs of our brain is to be on high alert for anything that could be dangerous or knock us out of our safety. The amygdala is a part of the brain located in the temporal lobe, and its primary responsibility is to scan for danger and then initiate appropriate responses. And it acts as the brain's alarm system, and it quickly detects potential threats and triggers, and the body's defense mechanism will get triggered, will get turned on. So like your fight or flight response. Our brain is constantly scanning for what's next or what's wrong. And it's typically because we're living in our parasympathetic nervous system, and that's that fight or flight mode. And we're kind of stuck there. Or we are stuck in our parasympathetic nervous system, unable to activate any kind of action with our body. I'm going to do a more in-depth explanation on the nervous system, especially because it's important to understand how it does work for us and not against us in another video. But today's video is going to teach you how to shift your attention from what is perceived by our stuck state of being into what actually is. And we do this by shifting our attention and engaging in a different narrative. We begin to teach our nervous system a new way that we are safe. The body loves to engage with the present, especially through the senses. And this is a really feminine attribute, to be sensual. And it's something that we have lost for a variety of reasons we won't get into today. But when you start to turn on your body again, you will see just the sensation that returns all throughout because it loves to engage with with reality, with what's here and now, rather than living in a state of always in potential threat out here, meaning guarding against potential threat. So today's goal is to teach the mind to connect to the body through being present with what is, to make presence feel interesting and delightful and really grounding. And it encourages ourselves to, like, we just need to stay here, eventually leading to an embodied life experience, to fullness. When I say stay here, I mean we're not trying to eject ourselves out of situations that make us uncomfortable within, the bounds of real safety. I'm talking about conversations that you might have, or things your children might be doing or your spouse might be doing that is triggering this tightness in your body and this reaction that's signaling, oh, we're not safe. But in the reality of things, you are safe. So we're teaching our body a new way. Hopefully, y'all have put to practice your breath and from video 2 and tried all 3 of the exercise for a good length of time, at least a week of doing daily practice before you move to this video. Like I said, this series is designed as a progression, starting with foundations, and we do not skip foundations. We're going to walk through a couple exercises in this video. You want to use these exercises and rituals to add on to your breath practice. And that will be so helpful. And also, you can play with these exercises anytime, just like you can with your breath. So this practice aids in bringing ourselves into the present, noticing what is, which is vital to learning the language of the body. Okay, enough of the explanation. Let's get into it. First exercise to bring the mind-body connection is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 game. This is a classic exercise, and it helps someone who is in a high state of overwhelm. Their parasympathetic nervous system is on overdrive. This can help you when you feel this way. It can help your children, if you're a parent, any of your friends, family in your environment. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super simple to remember. Find 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you feel, and 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. To put a twist on this, making it more engaging and really dipping you into a sensual way of living, here's some variations for you. And they're all intentionally directing the mind to start to notice, like, what is here. Doing this exercise will really slow down anything that you may be experiencing that's putting you into that fight or flight response. And it also helps to rev up an engine that is really going slowly and you're stuck in a freeze state. You can put twists on this and make it more engaging, really dipping you into a way of sensual living. So there's some variations you can do. You can work on maybe 5 colors that you can see, 4 textures that you can feel, 3 specific sounds. And you can work with colors, you can work within nature. And another fun twist is you can assign elements to each of these senses. So like, what are 5 earth things that I can see? What are 4 water things that I can hear? 3 fire things that I can touch, though, let's be safe. 2 air things I can smell, and 1 you got to work with your hearing, and that's in the ether. And I love doing that exercise, which we will expand upon a little bit further. And then 1 of the elements that you can taste. So have fun with that. Practice that alongside your breath work. You're starting to turn your body on, and you're starting to tell your body that you're ready to be present with it and to hear the messages that it's holding for you. Okay, great. So the next exercise is one of my favorites, and it's eating as a sensory experience. You're going to pick 1 meal or a snack every day that you eat without distractions. If you're a mother, this can be very challenging. But something I did for myself when I was really turning this part of myself on was I would go and take my smallest meal, so it would be quickest, and I'd go in the closet and I'd shut myself in and I would engage in this practice. So when you eat your meal or your snack, you're going to engage all your senses. This is a very slow process in eating, which in and of itself is something that we are not used to doing. Notice the colors and the textures and the smells on your plate before you taste them. It's just kind of like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're really noticing what's here. Next, you're going to try to chew really slowly and notice how many flavors emerge, or you can even notice how your jaw is working and how your teeth are working to serve you, to break down that food, and how your tongue's working to help move that food around your mouth. This brings to mind the movie Ratatouille, where the one main rat is teaching his brother how to really eat food. And it's this slow process where you're paying attention. Okay, make sure you make this fun as well. You can compare 2 bites, 1 eaten quickly, just see how it feels. It's just a noticing. And 1 eaten with full awareness, full engagement, as much as you can engage with your food, and just notice how it feels. Try not to prejudge any of these things, because your experience might be slightly different, where the food that's eaten quickly is actually more enjoyable to your body than food that is eaten slowly. Just because I'm asking you to slow down and to really start to pay attention does not mean that's the best way for you to eat. Everyone is different, and our digestive systems all work differently. So what we're really doing here is slowing down enough to pay attention. Really allow for the quick one to be more joyful for you if it is. Okay, very good. Have fun with that one. Honestly, I did it I was very disciplined and dedicated for a good week. And now I'll just find myself in a moment where I'm like, I'm going to just at least take this bite in real presence. All right, so the next exercise is called the pause and name game. This one is very good if you feel like you don't have time to set aside for these deeper engagement practices that might feel like they take more time for you. You're going to set random alarms on your phone that will just go off, and random or not, it will just go off for you in your life, and it will feel like just that a reminder and awareness that when the alarm goes off, you're going to pause whatever it is that you're doing, if possible, and just name things in your environment. Name 3 things in your environment. And you can even do this with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that alarm. When it goes off, pause and take your 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things that you feel, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. It doesn't necessarily have to be in that sort of layout. All it's doing is pause, be engaged with what is. This one is super beneficial to helping us to not ruminate and not be in our heads all day, and really beneficial for women who are in heavy masculine energy. And if you have a career, or even in running a household, you can be in heavy masculine energy because it's the action taker. And to dip into our femininity, where there's more flow and space, this slowing down really helps us and helps our body to remember our femininity. This random alarm timer one is really great too, because it can be done almost anywhere. If you're driving, you can totally do it. Taking a walk, you can totally do it. Even when you're engaging with somebody, if your alarm goes off, typically we'll pick up our phone and look at it. And you see that, oh, it's my alarm. Consciously, you can still be in engagement with somebody and notice something maybe that you weren't noticing before. And this will lead into further benefits of being safe in body, where you can then begin to attune to the other, and it makes you such an amazing listener. Okay, the last exercise that I'm going to deliver to you for this mind-body connection is something like a sound bath in everyday life. We are always consuming. We're consuming podcasts, we're consuming YouTube videos, we're consuming music, we're even consuming chatter from those around us. So instead of choosing to consume something audible, that you push play on, or that you opt into, like something on YouTube or a podcast, take some of that time that you have. Maybe it's just 60 seconds. It doesn't have to be this like long engaging practice that takes you away from other things that you enjoy, like podcasts. Just take a little bit of time and listen to the sounds around you. Notice layers, far sounds, close sounds. Are there any rhythms in my environment versus random sporadic sounds? You can also make this one playful as well by closing your eyes and track where the sound's coming from, like you're exploring and you're entering into a new environment. If you add this one with your breath that you've been practicing, I promise you that you will engage with your body in a way that you may never have before. And things will start to come online that will enliven this whole electrical magnetic vessel that we live in. and turn on the waters that flow through your body, like a little bit of an electric shock to wake it up. And you will be amazed by the tenderness that you might feel towards this vessel that you're inhabiting at this time. I do this sound game with my kids often in nature when we're walking or we're hiking. When we're resting on those walks or hikes, I tell them to pause and listen. Just pause and listen. And as we get further on into our videos, we're going to use that same practice to pause and listen to what our body is saying to us. What do we notice? Okay, so those were 3 practices that you can mix in together. As you saw, it was all about pausing and being in the moment. And the way that we do that is we just look, hear, smell, taste, feel. We use our senses to engage with our environment around us, turning on our body. So these next 2 things are rituals, and they're designed to bring you into a more personal inner experience. The first one is water awareness. Water is absolutely magical, and as we know from Frozen 2, it holds memory, but not only Frozen 2. There's much science that has come out that agrees with the idea that water holds memory. If you are curious about learning more on that, you can check out Veda Austin's work. It's very fascinating. And it's something I think that might help with this water ritual, as you can really begin to understand the power of water. With the water ritual, you're going to notice the temperature and the pressure and the sound of water. And imagine it clearing and resetting your energy as you notice it. You're going to notice it when you're in the shower, when you're doing the dishes, when you're washing your hands, as it hits your body. That's more specifically as water hits your body. You're going to notice it. Temperature, pressure, sound. As a bonus, when you're working with the water, you can code that water. Again, check out Veda Austin's work by speaking to it or having intentional thought towards it. Something that would benefit yourself and the water in your own body. Something like, as the water touches my skin, I feel safety. I feel presence in the moment. My body is coming alive. I feel love. I feel abundance as I feel the cold water on my skin. Anything like that will really ramp up this ritual. That's actually the second part of the ritual, working with water, is to add your voice into it. As you're engaging with the water and you're noticing it, you speak how it feels, and you name that. You're engaging this vocal cords, that vibration in there, opening up that chakra in this environment that's filled with safety, in connection to water, that is very healing for us. And it's not just words, but this full body experience. Okay, bringing all these things into your daily life, do it in a way that fits your life. You can make it a game by challenging yourself to find new things in familiar spaces. Use those daily anchors by setting timers, and attaching presence practices to things you already do, like drinking your tea or brushing your teeth or waiting in line. Whenever you're doing those things, attach your presence practices. Pair these things with movement, and that's so beautiful. It really brings in the somatic experience. Walking and stretching or swaying. It's another sensory thing that you can engage. You can also, if you're into it, curate sounds or scents, like candles or incense to bring you into a state of presence, which we will get into later, creating those rituals that help us to get grounded. And you can also turn this presence time into a gratitude practice. As you notice that thing, have gratitude towards that thing. For example, today this video is being filmed in my yurt, and as I look out this way, I actually can see the shadow of the plants outside. I notice them. I'm grateful for them. So easy as that. Okay, good job. That's it for this video. Remember to subscribe so this series is easy for you to access, and click the notification bell so you can be notified each time a new video is published. Please share this with anyone that you think could benefit. Until the next, have a great day.